There is no limit to what humans consider edible, including poisonous fish. In some parts of the world, what we view as bizarre is just an expensive delicacy. From nest soup to beheaded shark meat, here are our top 7 picks for the most bizarre delicacies from around the world. Let's get started. 7. Bird's nest soup. There are a lot of ways soup recipes can be extreme. A tribe that lives at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro makes kuburu soup, which is essentially made of bananas, coffee, and dirt. Hungary has rooster testicle soup. Germany has beer soup, but China's bird's nest soup takes things to another level. This delicacy, also known as the caviar of the East, isn't made of twigs and leaves as you're probably imagining. The nest used uniquely belongs to swifts, who make their nests mainly out of their saliva, which gives it a gelatinous and rubbery texture. Like most delicacies, bird's nest soup is expensive. A kilo of nests alone costs between a whopping $2,000 and $10,000, so a bowl of soup could cost you about $100. This centuries-old soup has this insane price tag because of how hard it is to produce a nest. They're found in coastal caves, and collecting them involves a great deal of climbing. Plus, swiftlets only build them during their breeding season, so they can only be harvested about 3 times a year. Besides the supposedly delicious flavor, bird's nest soup is believed to have aphrodisiac qualities and to be high in nutrition protein content. 6. Fried tarantulas. This Cambodian delicacy appeals to every foodie and terrifies everyone who suffers from arachnophobia. Everyone's favorite 8-legged spider is sold by street vendors in Skuon, Cambodia, fried to perfection. The giant hair arachnids are collected from the jungle around the market town and dropped straight into the frying pan with some garlic and salt. On your plate, it's served while it's still crouching on all 8 legs, and the fangs aren't removed. Those who have tried it describe that the flavor resembles cricket or chicken and say that the spiders are crispy on the outside with a gooey texture on the inside. 5. Fugu. Fugu is another word for pufferfish, and it's one of the ultimate delicacies in Japan. On any other occasion, eating well-prepared fish wouldn't hold any significance, but this delicacy can actually kill you. Pufferfish are one of the most poisonous creatures in the world. Their skin and insides contain the toxin tetrodotoxin, which is 1,250 times more poisonous than cyanide. Only licensed and experienced chefs are allowed to prepare pufferfish. And even then, there is still a giant risk of ending up paralyzed from the meal. There is no known antidote, and one ill-fated bite can result in asphyxiation. 4. Hakarl. When Chef Gordon Ramsay tried hakarl, he spat it out. And when Chef Anthony Bourdain tasted it, he described hakarl, which is made of fermented shark meat, as the single worst, most disgusting and terrible tasting thing ever. Hakarl is an acquired taste, so judging it from the first taste test isn't wise. But see it for yourself and decide. The dish is made from the meat of the Greenland shark. Initially, the meat is poisonous when fresh because of the high trimethylamine oxide and urea content. So, the method to prepare hakarl involves gutting the shark, beheading it, and then burying it in a shallow hole with gravelly sand with stones placed on top of it to press the fluids out of it. The shark then ferments for 6 to 12 weeks before being cut into strips, hung to dry for several more months, and then it's finally served, usually in small cubes. This delicacy is said to have a strong ammonia smell that first-timers are advised to pinch their nose while taking the first bite, and even then, they gag at the high ammonia content. The taste? Well, it just tastes like fish. 3. White ant egg soup. Another soup that will blow your mind is the Gaing Kai Mot Daing, a dish popular in the late summers in Laos. In this soup, you'll find chunks of white fish, mushrooms, and dozens of lifeless ants. At the surface is the dish's pièce de résistance, clusters of what look like tiny white beans. It's made from ant eggs and partial embryos, and the few baby ants are added to the mix to add sourness. The embryos burst in your mouth with an acidic tang. If you can get past eating ants, the flavor is described as surprisingly tasty, somewhat resembling shrimp, and delicate yet sharp in texture. 2. Huitlacoche. Huitlacoche is fungus, also known as corn smut. This delicacy is dependent on the fungus that infects normal corn kernel into tumor-like growth that are covered with black and blue spores. Most farmers throw out the diseased corn cob, but in Mexico, it's an acquired taste. The consumption of corn smut dates back to Aztec cuisine, and its price is significantly higher than normal corn. Huitlacoche means sleeping excrement, and it's usually eaten in soup or as a filling in quesadillas and tortillas-based foods. The flavor is supposedly woody and earthy. 1. Live octopus. Octopus, eaten raw and still alive, is a dish called sanakchi, and it's our pick for the most bizarre delicacy around the world. While the octopus, again, it's still alive, it's seasoned with sesame oil and cut into pieces. It's then placed on your plate, with the tentacles still wildly squirming. This is another delicacy that can kill you, or at least choke you a little. You'll be warned that the tentacles stick and cling to any surface that they touch, including your chopsticks. Once you get them off your utensils and into your mouth, it will then suction to your tongue, teeth, and the roof of your mouth, all as a last-ditch effort by the octopus to survive. As the tentacles squirm inside your mouth while you chew, some people call it a party in your mouth, while others choke on them. You're also warned to chew very thoroughly, otherwise the suction cups will stick to your throat.